The moment the cameras had to stop, what really happened on the set of The Chosen, when the line between acting and reality blurred. Everything was supposed to be just another normal day of filming. The cameras were ready, the lighting was perfectly set. The script had been rehearsed countless times. But no one on the set of The Chosen could have anticipated that while filming the Last Supper scene for Season 5, the entire crew would be forced to stop, not because of a technical issue, but because a human being could no longer continue acting. Jonathan Rumi, who had portrayed Jesus for years, suddenly couldn't go on. His voice faltered, his body weakened, and the room fell into a heavy silence so profound that no one dared to move. Many who were present that day still speak of that moment as if it was more than just a scene from a television series. A day that seemed completely ordinary. On paper, the Last Supper scene was no different from other major sequences. A tight shooting schedule, an experienced crew. Everyone understood the symbolic weight of the moment. Yet from early that morning, some crew members sensed something unusual. People spoke more quietly, actors were more withdrawn. The atmosphere felt more solemn than usual. No one said it out loud, but many later admitted they felt a kind of preparation taking place, one that went beyond technical readiness and into something deeply internal. Jonathan Rumi arrived calm and focused, yet visibly contemplative. He paused for a long moment before entering the set as if preparing for something heavier than performance itself. When the atmosphere began to shift, the first takes went as expected. The lines followed the script. Everything appeared under control. Then something subtle changed. Jonathan's expressions no longer felt like acting. His voice slowed. The pauses between his lines grew longer than usual. The director didn't call cut. The room began to change, not because anyone commanded it, but because everyone instinctively stopped. A technician forgot what they were doing. The boom mic operator froze in place. Some people felt the air grow heavier, though they couldn't explain why. By the third take, there was almost no sound at all, not because silence was requested, but because no one dared disturb the moment. The breaking point, without warning. The decisive moment came unexpectedly. Jonathan began a familiar line, one he had practiced many times, but midway through his voice weakened and then disappeared entirely. He lowered his head, closed his eyes, took a deep breath, but couldn't regain his composure. He stepped back from the table, placed his hand on his chest as if searching for a strength that was no longer there. No one rushed in. No one called for a pause. The entire room seemed to understand at once. This was not acting. Jonathan tried again, but the emotion surged too strongly. He shook his head, signaling that he couldn't continue. This wasn't exhaustion from a long schedule. It wasn't a technical issue. It was a human being reaching his personal limit. The crew's reaction. When no one knew what to do, Director Dallas Jenkins stepped forward, but said nothing. He didn't call cut. Later, he shared that interrupting the moment felt wrong. He didn't see something that needed fixing, but something that needed to be allowed to pass naturally. The crew reacted in unexpected ways. A lighting technician set their equipment down and waited. A cameraman wiped away tears. Even those who weren't religious admitted they felt something deeply real. No one prayed aloud. No one tried to perform. There was only presence and profound respect. It became too real for me. After what felt like an eternity, Jonathan lifted his head. His eyes were red, but his gaze was steady. He spoke softly. It became too real for me. I couldn't separate myself from it anymore. That sentence transformed the entire atmosphere of the shoot. Everyone realized they weren't just filming a biblical scene. They were witnessing a human being carrying the weight of a sacred figure revered by millions. The silent preparation beforehand. In truth, this moment didn't come out of nowhere. Before filming, Jonathan had spent weeks preparing quietly, limiting social media, maintaining strict spiritual discipline, praying and practicing inner stillness. For him, portraying Jesus wasn't just a job, it was a spiritual responsibility. The Last Supper wasn't merely a farewell scene. It was a moment that laid the foundation for the faith of millions. That pressure wasn't written in the script. It lived in the awareness of the person tasked with conveying it. A real Passover meal. The missing piece. Before filming, the cast and crew participated in an authentic Passover meal led by a Jewish rabbi. Not to rehearse, but to understand. Every ritual, every dish, every prayer carried centuries of history. That experience made many actors realize the Last Supper isn't separate from Judaism. It is a continuation, not a rupture. From that moment on, the scene was no longer just a scene. It became a living memory. 6 days of filming, no longer just work. The shoot lasted 6 days, and with each day the atmosphere grew heavier. Longer silences, unscripted tears, a quieter, slower crew. Many admitted they weren't exhausted from the work, but from having to remain fully present at all times. Even skeptics felt themselves touched in ways they couldn't name. An unexplainable moment, and a question for you. So what really happened on the set of The Chosen? A purely emotional response? Artistic sensitivity taken to its limit? Or something greater beyond language? Perhaps this story isn't meant to prove a miracle, but to remind us that sometimes there are moments that force human beings to stop and confront something deeper than themselves. What do you believe truly happened in that room? Was it just emotion or something more? Share your thoughts, because sometimes your answer is the missing piece of the story.